How's it going, everyone? It's Harvey from Weather Sponge 5000, and today, of course, we're going to talk about this extreme tornado outbreak that's going on in the southeast right now. But before I begin, make sure to subscribe if you want to see more weather-related content. Make sure to like if you like this video, and make sure to turn on post notifications if you want to see even more weather-related content. So let's begin by taking a look at the current radar, and as you can see, we do have a very elongated line of thunderstorms pretty much extending from Louisiana as far north as Indiana, where you do see that some of these thunderstorms are severe at times. We are seeing some severe thunderstorm right now located just to the east of Memphis, and we do have several areas of severe thunderstorms developing as well along this line. And so anywhere that's just to the east, these lines of thunder showers, you need to pay very close attention within the next couple hours, because there is a pretty likely chance that a lot of these thunderstorms will be considered severe. Of course, as we head closer and closer towards nighttime, we will see the severe weather subside as a result of the air beginning to stabilize as due to the lack of sunlight during the nighttime hours. So of course, we're going to see the air stabilize a little bit, but you still are going to likely experience severe weather within the next couple hours. If we were to take a look at some of the reports when it comes to wind and some of the watches and warnings issued, you see that there's a large area of tornado watches issued pretty much extending through Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana. As associated with some of these thunderstorms, there is a chance of a tornado because there's going to be just enough rotation in the upper levels of the atmosphere for significant tornado threat to occur associated with some of these thunderstorms. And you see these tornado watches extend all the way up to Tennessee as well, and they extend also up to Kentucky as well, and as far north as Indiana. So this is a very elongated area of severe weather that you need to watch out pretty much from Indiana all the way as far south as Louisiana. And you see that there have been multiple wind reports over the past several hours as a result of these thunderstorms. We do have reports of hail and also wind gusts over 80 miles per hour associated with some of these thunderstorms. So this is certainly a pretty significant thunderstorm and severe weather threat that you need to be aware of as these lines of thunderstorms move eastward. So make sure to pay close attention to that. And the reason why we're seeing this severe weather is pretty obvious. When we take a look at the temperatures right now, you see that anywhere pretty much, I'd say, east of the Mississippi River Valley and pretty much east of Chicago, you see that temperatures are relatively warm for the month of April, and in a lot of areas warmer than average. You see that we're seeing a large area of 70-degree weather extend as far north as Pennsylvania and New Jersey. So we are seeing very warm air move very far up north, which isn't very typical for the month of April. And you see that right behind this trough, there is a lot of cold air where we're seeing temperatures in the 40s and 30s, and that stark contrast in air temperature creates a very unstable environment for a lot of lift to occur, where it's in the area where the temperatures are a lot warmer than average, and as a result, the air is a lot less dense, so it's forced to rise up into the atmosphere and create a high level of convection along the eastern portion of the United States for this line of severe thunderstorms to occur, which is why we're seeing such a significant severe weather threat. And that instability is leading towards to a higher amount of wind shear to support for tornadoes, and of course a strong enough updraft to make the air pressure within the surface very low, and that creates a damaging wind threat associated with these thunderstorms as well. And in terms of what you could expect for the future when it comes to these thunderstorms, taking a look at how the Futurecast radar forecasted thunderstorms will look like at around this time, you see that it's pretty accurate. It's a pretty accurate representation of how the current radar looks right now, where we do see an elongated area of thunderstorms. And if we were to continue to move forward, these thunderstorms will continue to head further eastward, but I will say that they will subside in terms of how severe they are, in terms of magnitude of how severe they are. And you could probably tell by looking up northward, where we do see thunderstorm activity subside a little bit. And while there is still thunderstorm activity further southward, it won't necessarily be considered. The magnitude of severity won't really be up to the level as what we're seeing right now, because of course the instability will go down as this trough heads further eastward and the nighttime comes around, where of course we won't see the air as volatile as it is during the daytime, because of course there's a lack of short wave radiation from the sun during the evening hours. So as a result, this severe weather should subside, but you still need to watch out for maybe the potential of heavy rain in the overnight hours, so make sure to be aware of that. And in terms of how severe weather is looking like for tomorrow, you see that it's pretty much non-existent. The only area where there is maybe a chance of severe weather is further northward, closer to the northeast, closer to New York City and Philadelphia metropolitan areas, where there is a shot of severe weather developing into tomorrow. So you want to watch out right along the northeast coast. It's going to be very warm tomorrow, so it's certainly going to lead to an air mass that's very lightly dense enough for a lot of convection to occur right along the northeast. So that's why we're expected to receive a severe weather threat for the northeast. However, it won't be anywhere near the magnitude as what we're seeing in the southeast, obviously. So but it's still at least something to be aware of, that there could be a chance of severe weather in the northeast. Now, if I were to show you guys a GFS model, how it forecasted the radar to look at this point, again, very similar to what's happening right now, but I want to show you the GFS model to really show you guys the wind direction that changes with height. You see that along the surface and in the upper levels of the atmosphere, the winds are mostly going the same direction. You see that in the mid levels of the atmosphere, there is definitely a slight change in wind direction, which is causing the wind shear to support for enough rotation for a major tornado threat to occur. And it's the reason why there are tornado watches issued for a large area of the southeast. So you need to be aware of the possibility of tornadoes all throughout the southeast. But like I said, it will subside as the evening time comes around, as the air begins to stabilize, since there won't be short wave radiation from the sun to unstabilize the atmosphere. So as a result, we're going to see the thunderstorm threat subside as we head further and further into the evening hours and into tomorrow. But another thing we're going to need to pay attention to is the rainfall, because of course, with area of thunderstorms that's so elongated like this, there is certainly a possibility of flash flooding and a lot of rainfall over a large area. And you see that areas of Mississippi, Alabama, and even extending towards Louisiana, you could receive over 3 inches of rain, and just outside of it, you still could receive over 1 to 2 inches of rain. And you need to keep in mind that this rain will fall at a very fast clip. So even though the rain total won't be necessarily extremely high, the fact that that rain is going to fall at a very fast clip could lead to a more enhanced risk of flash flooding. So don't underestimate this rainfall just because the total might not necessarily look high to you, because if a high amount of rain falls within a very fast clip, that creates the chance of flash flooding no matter how high or low the total rainfall is. So make sure to definitely keep that in mind. And taking a look at the Storm Prediction Center outlook over the next several hours, you see that there's a large area of moderate severe weather expected from the National Weather Service, as there is a high chance of tornadoes, wind, and hail as a result of high convective available potential energy levels, as well as strong enough wind shear to support for rotation within the cloud top. So you want to make sure to be aware from areas extending from Indiana and as far south as Louisiana over the next several hours. And in terms of my forecast when it comes to this major tornado outbreak, so the good news is that many areas pretty much west of Memphis have escaped the severe weather, as now the worst of the severe weather is to the west of you guys and will only move further eastward to you, from you guys, which is certainly good news. But there's still that chance of extreme severe weather if you're in the pink area along the eastern side of it. So make sure to be aware of that. And in the northeast, we need to pay attention to this severe weather threat tomorrow, as there is going to be just enough unstable air for potentially a severe thunderstorm to develop right around New York City metropolitan area. And I'd say damaging winds will likely be the biggest threat, as there isn't enough convective available potential energy or enough wind shear for any sort of tornado threat to occur in the northeast. But it's still something to keep in mind for damaging winds and heavy rain associated with some of these thunderstorms in the northeast, so make sure to be aware of that. But yeah, guys, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more weather-related content. Make sure to like if you like this video, and I hope you guys all have a great day.